Both teams back in position out on HBF Park for the second half of this second international friendly between Australia and Panama. Marta Cox okay to continue. Australia continuing with the same 11 that started the match, but they trail 1-0 at half-time. Erika Arus with the goal. Remy Simpson among the Australian attackers, left wondering how they didn't score on one particularly chaotic phase of play where Hayley Razo hit the post and Simpson drew a good save. Charlene King has been busy in midfield, and Arus on the right wing was popping up in the centre of the pitch to win possession and strike from distance to put Panama in front. Will there be a Matildas comeback in the second half, or will Panama do it again? It's a chilly night in Perth, and that whistle gets us back underway with Panama taking kickoff at the start of the second half. Neither team has turned to their bench, so expect a raft of substitutions as this second half unfolds. Australia taking possession away from Panama initially. Hillary Hyen got a brief interruption, and she's going to put a foot on the ball again here. Quintero spinning out to the left side and fouling Jessica Nash, and that was an enduring battle of the first half. As Grace Gill, I welcome you back to the commentary box.
Well, thanks, Tayo. It was indeed Jess Nash getting a little frustrated with the contact, the attention from Quintero.
And now Quintero trying to go on the attack here for Panama, but it's Claire Hunt's turn to stand strong and win the ball away. Van Egmond through the goal scorer, Arus. Courtney Nevin spinning back. And now Hunt from the centre of defence. Remy Simpson. Nevin under duress, but still fired off a great pass. McNamara goes to ground, and Wendy Nartis kept her feet. Nartis' pass, though, to the advantage of any teammates. Nevin wheeling herself forward, and the end result is a Panama throw down at right back as they see it.
Well, Wendy Nartis was everywhere in the first game for Panama, and again coming across well, closing the space and using her body expertly to cross the run of Holly McNamara. Remember how fast McNamara is, and Nats has had some work to do, some ground to cover. She's done really well on that occasion.
Nartis, who plays her football in the Mexican League at Atletico San Luis, so she'll be an opponent of Emily Gilnick, who left Matilda's camp after the weekend to go and link up with her new club, Monterrey. Joe Montemurro, what did his halftime team talk entail? Nevin's throw. Heyman operating back to goal. You saw the shirt being grabbed by Catherine Castillo, and the referee says it is indeed a free kick.
Heyman doesn't go to ground easily. We've mentioned it before, but she's a great back-to-goal player, really good at protecting possession. On occasion, just pulled to ground, a little tug of the shirt. Sets up a good opportunity for the Matildas. Maybe the left boot of Courtney Nevin this time.
So a mid-range free kick. A deep breath from Courtney Nevin to think about where this set piece goes. Nevin's free kick, bending to the penalty spot, teasing through the area. Razo retrieves it at the byline, then cleared by Marta Cox, only as far as Razo. Takes on Hyen, and Hyen sends it behind for a corner.
Hyen stood up well, knew what Razo was looking to do. Just wanting to nudge it onto her right foot to find another cross into the box.
So Matilda's had a string of corners early in the first half. Emily Van Egmond mixed up the delivery. This one is going to fall at the penalty spot, headed by Quintero. Now Marta Cox finds Charlene King. She's been shut down by Van Egmond, and Australia win back the ball. stepped out to be a nominal left-back position, but Australia will reorganise in short order. Chloe Lincoln distributing out to the right side. Courtney Nevin motoring forward. Razzo tried to go with, but couldn't keep the ball. King, Gonzalez, and now Cox. Marta Cox, out to Riley Tanner on the wing. Tanner, driving it, tried to catch out Lincoln on the tight angle. We know that Riley Tanner is not fazed by shooting from a low percentage shot that time. All she got was side netting.
Well, she's stung a shot away. Lincoln had the near post covered well.
Tanner, who hit the post in game one, scored a very important goal for Panama in qualifying for the 2023 World Cup. She netted against Papua New Guinea in the first of their playoff games held in New Zealand. Managed to get Panama to their first ever FIFA Women's World Cup. Here's Nash. Jessica Nash lifts the ball to Razzo. Razzo. The build-up continues. Now it's been short-circuited. Cox. King calls for the ball in midfield. Charlene King sends it out to the goal scorer, Arus. Here's Castillo getting forward in support the right back. Arus, Marta Cox, Gonzalez, and Cox. Razzo brushes her away, and Razzo is then fouled on the way through. And Chandra Gonzalez is going to join Hilary Hyen in the book. Wendy Nardis has come in and just stolen the ball away. So with Marta Cox down, Australia were thinking about taking the free kick quickly. There's another look at Razzo's contact on Marta Cox.
This one, the little pullback.
And there's the afters. So Gonzalez and Hyen in the book together. Hyen's yellow card coming in the first half. Referee Yoshimi Yamashita of Japan happy now for play to restart. Australia long ball off the head of Castillo. Remy Simpson following up. McNamara from the left wing. Biding her time. Courtney Nevin. Jessica Nash. Sayer. Sayer to Razzo. And Razzo stretched beyond the end of that lunge, out of play.
The idea right from the Matildas there, the give and go, better ball speed, but what needs to improve into this second half is a bit of protection rather over the possession. We've seen on a few occasions, whether it be decision making, an extra touch, just being a little reckless with really retaining the ball. That comes down to simple things.
Razzo can't find a way past Hyen. Say, you can see the eagerness to take the throw in. Tanner starting very deep in the defensive half of Panama. Charlene King with it all to do. King really had one option, that was Quintero, and couldn't find her with the pass. Simpson sends the early ball, tried to thread through Heyman. Follow up from McNamara. It's Holly McNamara. Sees the run of Razzo. Razzo! Heyman! Australia level! At last, the Panama defence is breached. And it's Michelle Heyman, all business, after tapping in on the end of Hayley Razzo's cross.
play. It was slick play. Well done, well carried by Holly McNamara. The pass to Hayley Russo was weighted to perfection. And Michelle Heyman, you can see her just stutter her run half a step, which keeps her onside. It's intelligent. And then the cross has to be good, and it is. On a platter, and Heyman does not miss. Neatly tucked into the corner. The Matildas are level. That's lovely play.
That's as loud as HBF Parker's got tonight for international goal number 32 for Michelle Heyman. She celebrated her 37th birthday in Matilda's camp during the week. And a belated present here brings Australia level 1-1. So with the hour mark approaching, Australia have parity. The 11s that started the game have been squared away. There's a player down here for Panama though, and it's Wendy Nutters, who's a pretty important part of the Panama defence.
She's been excellent tonight and in game one for Panama. Just really sound.
While this treatment takes place, goal number 32 for Michelle Heyman. Pretty important, Grace. She moves into a three-way tie with teammate out there tonight, Emily Van Egmond, on 32 international goals. And Sarah Walsh, who was certainly not given as many games to score 32 goals, had to have a much higher strike rate back when the Matildas played a lot less frequently than they do now.
Well, pretty impressive company to keep Michelle Heyman, Emily Van Egmond, Sarah Walsh on 32 goals in A internationals for the Matildas. This another look at where Nutters has gone to ground.
Let's take another look at international goal number 32 for Michelle Heyman.
Well, she made it look easier than what it was. The cross from Rasso had excellent shape, but it was arriving in the air. And Heyman met it really neatly, really clean connection. I know she would have wanted to make amends as well for the miss against Panama in game one, and she's well and truly done so there.
So a Panama tour that has certainly taken a toll in a physical sense. The injuries that they've suffered now has another concern as Wendy Nutters leaves here, and it's going to prompt not just one change, but three for Panama. They're going to bring on Rebecca Espinosa, Lynette Cedeno, and also Arlen Hernandez. And there are those three players waiting to come on. So two other Panama players about to get their number called. And Grace, we saw that Maria Antonia S was not afraid to make a quadruple sub in game one, so no surprise that there's a triple sub coming here.
Yeah, especially in response to the Matildas' goal. Fresh legs, Espinosa, the likely replacement for Nutters at the back.
So the goal scorer, Erika Aros, is making way. Wendy Nutters' substitution is confirmed. And it is also Ana Gabriela Quintero who is making way for the more attack-minded Lynette Cedeno. There is Rebecca Espinosa, who will be the like-for-like swap for Nutters at the centre of defence. The other player, Shahari Camarena, comes on. 21 years old. Didn't feature in game one, so it's our first look at her in this series. And Panama are on the attack straight away after making that triple change. Here's Tanner. Sayer find a way out of a 1-on-2. Tanner took the ball and wins a free kick.
Minutes remain. Panama the first to turn to their bench to make a few changes. I'm sure we'll see Joe Montemurro return with his changes as well. Subs warming up at either end.
Can they surge again in response to the Australia equaliser Panama? Marta Cox to take the free kick. Into the near post. Headed away initially. Can Razzo launch a counter-attack? Hayley Razzo at speed. Looking for McNamara. And out comes Cordova. It seemed the keeper always had the advantage then.
It was a great run. And a little too much weight behind it. Cordova was off her line well.
With the feet, Cordova has to clear, but she's cleared it straight to Hayley Razzo, inviting the pressure on. Razzo shoots from distance.
Filled with confidence from the last cross that did find Michelle Heyman for the goal. That one not quite with the dial in, just drags the shot wide of the goal.
Razzo has 22 international goals. Here's cap number 99 tonight. Australia pressing. Panama go to the air. Simpson wrestles off her marker. Razzo return ball. Remy Simpson hard against the line. Cutting it back. Heyman. It sits up for McNamara. McNamara takes possession. Claire Hunt's blocked. Cedeno shooting from inside her own half and did not catch it in a way to launch. Fresh off the bench, Lynette Cedeno. The other players that scored against France in the 2023 Women's World Cup. No shortage of confidence coming onto the pitch for Panama. Nash hurried a pass and found Grant. And now Grant accelerating. Charlie Grant still going to the urging of the crowd. It sits up for her. It's still there. And then neither a pass nor a shot at the end of the move. It was thrilling as it unfolded. Both teams think it's their throw. Simpson tries to knock the ball on, not quite to her own advantage though. Espinoza, Hyen, King, blocked. The ball will find its way to Tanner. Riley Tanner slides it straight to Claire Hunt. Hunt with good vision, saw Grant. Space to exploit here for Grant. This time she sends it central for Remy Simpson. Now McNamara. Nevin on the overlap. Nevin's cross. And it flashes agonisingly through the penalty area. Michelle Heyman was trying to get to the ball, but not quite. And it's becoming end-to-end here. Panama's turn to attack. Can they go at speed? Camarena. And now Castillo, the Australian defence, set behind the ball. Cedeno. Here's Van Egmond. It's just end-to-end stuff at the moment. Here's Sayer. Razzo. Is there a full stop at the end of all this back and forth? Heyman! Heyman! It's Australia who take the lead. They've turned it around. And Michelle Heyman was that full stop at the end of the back and forth.
Well, that is just pretty to watch for the Matildas. Transitional end-to-end play, and on the Harvey Norman replay, it finally opened up. The pass, and Russo had been up and back. A little glance up, and Heyman, so intelligent, so smart, peels off her player, gets the separation she needs. She makes it look so easy. A glancing header nods it down to the far post. And it felt like the Matildas, they've tried again down that right-hand side. It's finally coming to just reward the Matildas. They've got their lead.
And so a double on the night. Michelle Heyman does indeed overtake Emily Van Egmond and Sarah Walsh on the all-time scorers list for the Matildas. And now she's on a hat-trick. Australia can feel the momentum pumping. Sayer. And that cross catches a deflection behind for a corner. Heyman, who's waiting in the middle.
Players breathing after that last few minutes. It was relentless. The ball not going out. Transitional one end to the other. A really good play, that, from the Matildas. Passes hit to the right area, delivery is good, decision making good, and the outcome even better.
The crowd has really come to life as well here in Perth. Van Egmond's corner, and even though there's a tangle between Holly McNamara, her defender at the far post, it was an uncontested catch for Cordoba in the end.
To be fair, there's very little Cordoba could have done about both of Michelle Heyman's finishes. Finding the near corner, the far corner.
Razzo. Razzo trying to thread through Simpson. Panama. Trying to string some passes together. Gonzalez to Tanner. Now they consolidate. Espinoza. Cedeno to Marta Cox. And the assistant referee's flagging here. Bit of afters between Nevin and Cedeno has led to a free kick. So a new challenge for the Panama coach in this series. First time that Australia has been in the lead over the two games. Marta Cox's free kick knocked down by Tanner, cleared by Claire Hunts. High end. Driving a diagonal. Nevin up for the header. McNamara bumped by Marta Cox. Claire Hunt clears away.
She's been really sound tonight. Once more, Hunt at the back. Good anticipation, good composed touches when asked of her.
Heyman, Remy Simpson, McNamara flowing through the middle, but Simpson sent it a little wide. Panama not out of danger just yet, though. Now Espinoza finds a teammate. Cedeno with a heavy touch. Cox misplaces the pass. Van Egmond takes over for the Matildas. McNamara veering inside. Sees Heyman at the top of the area. Van Egmond. Now Grant. Razzo, a couple of assists already. Amy Sayer. And offside against Charlie Grant. And that will take us to 20 minutes of regulation to go in the game.
There's some tired legs out there for the Matildas, and understandably so. Charlie Grant getting through a wealth of work, as is Hayley Russo, a lot of running. Remy Seamston ever foraging, searching for the ball.
Michelle Heyman coming up to meet the throw-in. Baldred Reyes. Now Marta Cox. Stepping through the midfield ably. And setting Riley Tanner. Tanner! Top save, Chloe Lincoln. A big moment for the 20-year-old in just her third cap.
Well, a save that deserves a celebration. Subdued from Chloe Lincoln, but that's perfect. She's gone with the right hand, reaching, does really well to redirect the strike. And Tanner, who's looked so dangerous, that on target. Wonderful save by Lincoln.
The end result is a corner. The defending continues for the Matildas. It is a short corner. King and Cox. And now Tanner is going to shoot from distance again. And this time it's headed out for another corner kick, this time on the opposite side. Claire Hunt able to deflect it high.
And again, Tanner, the intended target to get the strike away.
They're making a move here, Panama. Trying to find an equaliser. Australia standing tall. Another short corner for Panama. And Razzo steals the ball away from King. Oh, Cox in with an agricultural foul. And she's going to be yellow carded for it. McNamara is not happy with how Marta Cox flew in. How is Hayley Razzo?
The challenge came too late. A heavy clattering to the right knee of Hayley Russell, and that hurts. You can see the boot. Cox just strong connection. So back to her feet. And McNamara quick to defend her teammate as well, standing in closely.
So with that foul, Australia are going to make changes for the first time tonight. Alana Murphy is going to be coming on, played the full 90 at the weekend. She'll come on for her fifth cap here, the 19-year-old from Melbourne Victory. And it's also going to be a second international appearance for Jacinta Galabata Arachi. There's Murphy. Maybe the cool customer. One last bit of instruction from the gaffer. She's replacing Hayley Razzo, and Amy Sayer is coming off for Galabata Arachi. Panama are going to make a change at the same time. Shirlene King's number is up, and she'll be replaced by Carmen Montenegro. Grace, thoughts on the Australian changes?
With a little wry smile of Alana Murphy just before going on, and some important minutes. Familiarity in the midfield for Murphy. And a few more minutes for Galabata Arachi as well. But can I just say, what a performance from Hayley Russo, tireless. 2 assists to show an incredible work rate. Amy Say involved in a lot, maybe not as much so as recent performances, but still heavily involved in a lot of the Matildas' attacking play.
Panama starting with their goalkeeper, Cordoba. Espinoza. Castillo. Nowhere to go, really. Galabata-Arachi straight off the bench, guarding her. Cedeno. Fouled. Here is Castillo. Cedeno. Marta Cox with a long ball. And that's going to clear all the outfielders and find its way down to Chloe Lincoln. Claire Hunt waiting for the right pass to appear. It's Alana Murphy's first touch off the bench. Lincoln to Grant. Grant trying to skip away from the slide challenge of Gonzalez, but Panama win the ball back. Tanner. Some appeals for offside not heeded. Cox. Gonzalez. Now Camarena. Valtribreas. Long ball to no one in particular. Tanner wasn't running for it on that occasion, so it goes out. Heyman flicks the ball on, perfect for McNamara. Does McNamara have a burst? She's going to try to find Galabata-Arachi. And here's Jacinta, over on the wing. Back to Remy Simpson. Past Heyman it goes, and the Panama defence will clean up. Cedeno, Murphy is on the scene. Galabata-Arachi lunging but can't take possession.
Well, the involvement there from Michelle Heyman, lovely. Just that little around the corner flick pass to find McNamara into space. Didn't quite have the end product, but just those little moments, those little glimpses of quality.
Murphy intercepts the ball here, and Australia take over possession. Forward comes Nash. Tanner slid in from the blind side and won the ball back for Panama, but it's only short-lived. McNamara knocked off the ball. Tanner draws a free kick. Still only a 2-1 lead for Australia. Panama not going away by any stretch.
No, and they won't go down quietly either.
As the attendance in the final of these 4 games in Western Australia, it's going to have such a key role to play during the Women's Asian Cup. Hosting a number of matches, including the Matildas opener. Nevin. Galabata-Arachi. Quick 1-2, and now Galabata-Arachi from inside the defensive half. It's a shallow pass, possession given away. Can Panama capitalise? Cedeno! Cleared off the line! Heroic defending! Jessica Nash! Body on the line for the Australia shirt.
Well, huge, huge moment. There's a bit of a clumsy giveaway by Galabata-Arachi. Shouts for offside. Nash did keep her on, but this, a certain goal-saving move from Jess Nash. She gets absolutely cleaned up in the aftermath and is worse for wear from the challenge. But she's prevented a goal, no doubt about that.
Well, it's a sacrificial act that will earn the respect of so many. Jessica Nash, she's tough. She gets back up and listen to the crowd showing their appreciation.
Well, anyone who's watched Jess Nash play for the Central Coast Mariners particularly in the championship winning game. She was wonderful. Moments like that, time and time again, put her body on the line, and she does that for her team. She's a tough customer.
Only 20 years old, Nash, her fourth cap tonight. And so the end result of all of that is an Australia goal kick. Riley Tanner was crashing in, but ultimately Panama could not turn the ball into the net. And it takes us into the final 10 minutes of regulation. McNamara, floor. And now Nash is down. If not for a potential forced change here, Grace, do you envisage any other substitutions that Joe Montemuro might have in mind as Australia look to see out these final 10 minutes in stoppage?
Or if anything, just the final few minutes of management of bodies. Players that have played a lot of minutes, and concerning signs here for Jess Nash as we have another look at an absolutely certain goal-saving slide tackle as Tanner was tearing in. She's got a little bit of a problem, Jess Nash. So whether or not a forced change, 10 minutes a little under to play. And a lot of younger players on the bench, with the exception of Chloe Berryhill.
Eavesdropping on a conversation there between Joe Montemuro and Emily Van Egmond. We only heard half of it. Hard to put it in context. See, it's all smiles on the bench there. Grace Kualamu, Briley Henry, Jamila Rankin and Sally James from left to right. UDAYA, who's already been subbed out. And Jessica Nash is able to walk under her own steam to the sideline. Is she going to continue in the game? That's the question. A sub isn't being readied, so it looks as though Joe Montemuro and the fitness staff are going to give Nash every chance to finish the 90 here.
No sub immediately obvious for the Matildas. Subs down the other end of the field, warming up Tash Pryor. An obvious choice if need be.
And that means it is 11 versus 10 for Panama. Can they strike with a player advantage? Cedeno! Golazo Panama! Lynette Cedeno brings the game level 2-2.
Well, silences the crowd at HBF Park in Perth. But almost against the run of play, and on the Harvey Norman replay, the field is stretched, the Matildas are a player down, and this is a venomous strike. Takes one touch, has a look, and thunders this into the back of the net. Unstoppable. What a wicked strike that was.
The 24-year-old who plies her trade in the Frauen Bundesliga at Turbine Potsdam scored in the World Cup for Panama, and she has drawn them level here 2-2. And it's fine margins, 11 versus 10 for one phase of play, and Panama, they struck, and how they struck.
Unreal. She could not have hit that ball sweeter.
Nash is back on, so it's 11 versus 11. The crowd start to bubble up again. They want the Matildas to leave winners, and there's still plenty of time to find a winner either way. Heyman lays the ball off. Nevin, crunching challenge comes in from Cox. Cedeno, the most recent scorer. Claire Hunt wins the header. Murphy steps away from the challenge. Finds Nash, who seems to be moving freely. Given away away by Hunt. Cox. Chamilng. Advantage Panama's way. And it's a very belated whistle. So the referee ultimately didn't see an advantage for Panama and will give them the free kick. And the fourth official is already signalling for a double change. Chandra Gonzalez's number is up, as is Hilary Hyen's. So the two substitutes summoned are Arlen Hernandez, the number 15, defender from Santa Fe, and also Carla Riley. Being introduced as Australian audiences to a number of extremely competitive Panamanian players, many of them plying their trade in their domestic league. So many of them can leave with their heads held high.
They can. And maybe a little tactical here, the two players coming off in Hyen and Gonzalez, both nursing a yellow card. So another couple of changes for Panama. Another couple of minutes remaining in regulation time.
Carla Riley, the number 9, her first minutes of the series. We didn't see her in game 1. Hernandez was part of the quadruple sub that came on with 10 minutes to go in Bunbury. So plenty of fresh legs out there for Panama as they try to come from behind to win. Castillo, Cedeno, sees Tanner. And Nash takes the ball away from Tanner, sends it out in front of Grant. Van Egmond, pass blocked. Cox, Galabata Arachi, Murphy. Oh, Nash plays it into Cox, who was on the ground. But luck's a fortune, it deflects to Claire Hunt. Real stress test for so many of these Australian players early in their international careers. Riley, Castillo, all the way back to the keeper. Simpson shoves over Riley, giving away a free kick. Remy Simpson on track to play the full 90 in a Matilda shirt for the first time. They've been subbed on or off in all their previous caps. Nevin, Simpson. Can Australia launch? Grant with a bit of space to go into. And the pass is blocked. And it might be coming back with interest. Camarena. Cedeno. Biding her time as she advances. Australia have numbers back. Galabata Arachi able to get to the ball before Castillo, but still has to think her way out of the situation. Nearly got her pocket picked, but recovered. And now sends Simpson to the line, but not quite able to keep it in.
Just run out of legs there. Remy Simpson, and I'd say understandably so, has worked hard across the course of this almost 90 minutes.
And I might have jinxed her here because Australia's readying a double change, so she might not make it to the end of the game after all. Adriana Taranto in line to win her second cap. And for the first time in this Panama series, Briley Henry, the young attacker from Melbourne City. Panama on the attack in the meantime. Marta Cox just going for glory and sending it across the face. And that will take us into the last minute of the 90. Here comes the double change. And yes, it is indeed Remy Simpson who leaves in the 90th minute. So what a shift she's put in. And it is also Holly McNamara coming off here. So Simpson leaves the game. Adriana Taranto on for her second cap after winning the first at the weekend in Bunbury. And Briley Henry also gets stoppage time to show what she can do. Her sixth cap. Of course, she scored her first international goal back in December against Chinese Taipei. there would be no better time to find another. Nevin. Espinosa takes the ball wide and then just drives it 10 rows back into the stand. Can Australia find a late winner? It's late night in Perth. Funny things can happen right at the end of the night. Van Egmond. 7 additional minutes. Plenty of time to find a winner. Here's Murphy. Van Egmond. Claire Hunt directing traffic. Alana Murphy making space. Galabata Arachi flicks it on for Nevin. First time cross is a teaser! Australia in front! And for just the second time in international football, Charlie Grant is a goal scorer for the Matildas! And on a night of back and forth, is it Charlie Grant who emerges Australia's hero?
Well, she would be a deserving hero if it is to be the case. And on the Harvey Norman replay, there's numbers forward. Panama defence is camped back in. That's clever by Galabata Arachi. And Courtney Nevin on the left foot. Charlie Grant advancing. And such a deserving goal scorer. The finish epitomises her game. Tireless, relentless, does not give up on anything. And Charlie Grant, that one will feel so good.
It's hard to take the smile off her face anytime, really, but never mind after scoring for her country. And of course, the first goal was a famous one, April 2023, against England. Charlie Grant comes up with her second in cap number 38. And it might just prove a winner. There's still 5 additional minutes to go. To Panama have another one in them. Nevin heads away. Here's Taranto. Grant back to her position at right back. Taranto again. Knew exactly where Van Egmond was. Van Egmond sets Galabata Arachi a task. Castillo is first to the ball. Castillo's pass bending along the line. Nevin, what a cross for the assist for Grant. The 2 fullbacks, or the 2 wingbacks, linking up.
Well, that left foot of Nevin means that the quality of the cross was there to be taken. And now a nervy few minutes for the Matildas. Can they contain? Can they be smart about this play? Slow things down, hold on to the ball.
Well, Briley Henry's conceded a free kick here. Even with Marta Cox on the pitch, I would suggest it's beyond shooting range. Another look at that beautiful cross in.
Late arrival of Grant, so tough to defend against, and just needed contact, any contact.
Charlie Grant, she is such a popular Matilda everywhere she goes. But her goal is not necessarily the match winner yet. The Matildas need to make a defensive stand right here. Marta Cox. And the flick header is going out for a goal kick, so precious seconds off the clock. And Australia are going to make one more substitution. Emily Van Egmond, who has worn the captain's armband tonight, will hand it to Michelle Heyman and take her leave, and Chloe Berry-Hill will come on here. And the veteran presence of Emily Van Egmond was so important tonight in a team filled with younger and less experienced players around her.
Exactly that. 162 appearances, Van Egmond. Her 163rd tonight. And for that level of experience, just around players who are new to the setup, it in conversation with Joe Montemuro, replaced by Chloe Berryhill, not short of experience herself.
So Berryhill, fresh legs on for the final exchanges here. Murphy. Trip Reyes. It is a Panama free kick inside their defensive half. 2 of the 7 additional minutes left for them, though. And they do have a throw in here. Montenegro.
Important touch, important defending by Berryhill. Hard to come into a game this late in the piece.
Castillo's cross. It's up for grabs and well held by Chloe Lincoln.
That's good goalkeeping. Off her line into a congested area. Came to take the grab and did so assertively. Good, clean hands. Had the crash landing of Jess Nash, who, fair to say, will be a little sore after tonight's performance.
Well, they might be sore, but they'll be all smiles if they can hold out for 60 more seconds here. A slip. And now Berryhill. Advantage given Australia's way. Taranto. Murphy's turn to follow up. Can't win the ball. Australia keeping it from them. Claire Hunt just managing the situation. Can they manufacture one last forward foray, Panama? The long ball is hopeful. And the flag is up for offside against Riley Tanner. Even though Charlie Grant got to the ball first, and that might be that. You couldn't ask for much more from a 2-game friendly series. The Matildas will finish it on a high, and a stoppage time winner from Charlotte Grant means that they square away this 2-match series against Panama with a win apiece. It was a seesawing contest full of attacking intent. Michelle Haven scored a significant double as she climbed the all-time Matildas goal-scoring list. And even though Panama both took the lead and had an equaliser in them for 2-2, it is the Matildas who win for the second time under Joe Montemuro. And they finish this 4-game series in Western Australia on a high. Panama put everything into these matches, and you can see the respect at full time. An embrace between the managers. It was a hard-fought series right to the end, and it entertained us every step of the way. Australia 3, Panama 2. Courtney Nevin with the